Alright, so I'm sure you have heard the 1% rule. Never risk more than 1% of your account. Maybe you should risk even less. And I don't think I agree with that at all. There's no one-size-fits-all risk level that fits every trader. It totally depends on your goals, your account size, your trading environment. Are you trading in a private account? Are you trading for a prop firm? And it also completely depends on your personal makeup. How well do you deal with drawdowns? What is your financial situation? And also, of course, the historical win rate of your strategy, because the higher the win rate, the higher you can go with your risk, as simple as that, because you're going to be compounding a lot faster. If you have a very low win rate, you're going to have longer drawdowns, and the higher the risk you are taking, the deeper your drawdowns in absolute values and percentage values will be. For example, if we look at H1 here, I have the simulator open where, for example, we go with a win rate of, let's say, 45%. Our average gain is 100 or 200. Our average loss is minus 100. And we're starting with 10,000 bucks. 100 simulations, 500 trades. You can see the longest losing streak is 18 trades, which is pretty brutal. But if you look down here at the losing streak probability, 18 trades over 500. Well, there's a 1% chance that happens, but it happened to us over these. Well, it's 500 trades times 100, so it's a lot more than that. So 1,000 trades, it increases to 2%. Anyway, you get the idea, right? We can do this again. Longest losing streak 16, longest losing streak 16. 19, etc. So you will hit that drawdown eventually, and you never know when. It could be the first 19 trades that you take with your strategy in a live market will be this longest losing streak. And then maybe you have one winner, and then you have another 19 trades losing streak. Now that would be obviously the absolute worst case of the worst cases. Very unlikely to happen, but it can still happen. No? So you have to be super aware of that. And playing around with a simulator like this can be very helpful when determining your risk level based on your historical performance. But looking at the spreadsheet here, I have a starting balance, I have a risk per trade, I have a win rate. That win rate is randomized by Excel. I have a random function here, and it usually hovers around 50%, 49 win rate, 61% win rate, 55% win rate, 50% win rate, etc. And then when we win, we make 2. When we lose, we make -1. And we have our balance. We have our sum of wins, our ending balance. And then here we have the equity curve in dollars and here in R. And then here I want to show you the impact of taxes as well, which can be quite interesting, especially when it gets to the higher brackets. But the impact is lower than you would think on the lower brackets. So let's say we are this guy here. We are making a 63% return per year, very respectable. We're starting with a $10,000 account, and we're risking 1% per trade. So we made $6,284 by the end of the year. If we keep doing that for 10 years, and which is a really good return, we pay 0 taxes, we end up with 1,311,000. If we do pay taxes a little bit, say 25%, like in Germany, for example, right now, you would end up with 1 million, so 300K less. And that's still very respectable. But then you have to think about, can you really play this game for 10 years without withdrawing from your account at all? And I think that's kind of hard. So I have always been an advocate of risking way more, especially if you're starting with a small account, if you can afford to lose this kind of money, and if, like me, you don't have the patience to wait for 10 years to make substantial amounts of money. You never know if your strategy is still going to work in 10 years and you have to develop a new one. The regulations might change, taxes might change. If you have an edge right now, you want to pound it as hard as you can, period. Now, if you're trading in a prop environment, of course, this completely changes, and I will talk about that in another video. But if you're trading in a personal account, you're starting with 10 grand, and most people don't even start with this kind of money. We can see when we refresh this sheet, the 1 million was actually already a very good outcome. So you could also end up with 89 grand after 10 years if you only make 24 per year on average. If you make 78, okay, here you are at 3.2 million. Down here at 2.5 million, bit of a difference. If you make 32%, you end up at 162,000 with no taxes. You get the idea. You can see the biggest drawdown here, for example, we're going from 35R down to 25R. So the biggest drawdown from high watermark would be 10R roughly, or it would be 4,000 down to $2,700. And we can keep doing this. 535, 218, 2.3 million. Yeah, so you see how much luck there's involved as well. If you get an average return of 50%, some years you're gonna make 20, some years you're gonna make maybe 80, and then it all evens out to 50%. That is also, of course, something that you have to keep in mind here, which will affect this calculation. Okay, this is just a ballpark. And also, I'm not a tax advisor, obviously, but if you live in a jurisdiction where you pay 50% or more on your capital gains, just don't even think about trading, or move somewhere else where people are friendlier and the weather is better, I guess. So if you have an edge, and you know you have an edge because you have proven it over 100 plus trades, 200 plus trades, maybe 1 or 2 market regimes. Yeah, we are calculating this over 100 trades, by the way, which is very typical for my kind of trading style. Yeah, 2 trades per week, 52 trading weeks, roughly 100 trades per year. You will end up with this most of the time. Could be anywhere between $30,000 and 1.3 million, or 3 million, which is crazy. You have to think about that. But let's say you start with 2% risk. Obviously, your drawdowns are going to get deeper, but your potential returns, okay, this is a bit ridiculous here. We're going to 209%. Obviously, these kind of returns as a day trader are very possible until a certain point where your psychology is going to break because the risk per trade is so high. Also, you're going to run into liquidity and slippage problems sooner or later. Yeah. But you see how only changing from 1% to 2% per trade is making these numbers go wild. Only by this simple tweak. This is the worst that we have seen so far. 60 grand after 10 years, that's pretty rough. 20% per year with a 2% risk is like, okay. But then again, you go up to 2 billion, which is, if you make this kind of return every year. So you see also how huge the variance can be in trading. Or you're going down to 353,000 with 43% on average. Now we up that a little bit more to 5% per trade. Okay. I can't even pronounce these numbers. And obviously risking 5% per trade is kind of ridiculous unless you have like a 70% win rate or more. Because if you go here into our longest losing streak calculator, we're going for a 70% win rate, and let's say we're trading a 1-to-1. Our longest losing streak is 9. That would still hurt with 5%. 10, 9, 8, 8, 8, 12. Oh, that's the worst one. 8, 8. Okay. So you would probably be around the worst that you would encounter is probably 10 losing trades. And then you would obviously lose a chunk of your balance, but you would make a lot more in the long run if you can handle that psychologically. Because even 100% return with a 5% risk is very, very, very doable if you can stomach the drawdowns. And I would suggest for the first, up to 100K, a 50% drawdown doesn't hurt that much. So you can very quickly, if you have an edge, if you have an edge, and you always want to know your longest losing streak, then you can very quickly run that up to 100K. Then you reduce your risk to 3%. And suddenly your biggest drawdown could be like biggest potential drawdown could be 24%, for example. You run that up to another 500k, then you reduce to 2, and then once you're at 1 million, you reduce to 1%. Now you're risking 10,000 per trade, and you're going at a very comfortable rate with tiny drawdowns and in percentage, and very respectable returns year over year. So don't fall into the trap of thinking you have to risk 1% on every single trade, especially if you start with a small balance. I think it's absolutely irresponsible, both financially and time-wise, to trade with 1% risk on a $10,000 account. It makes absolutely no sense. And if you have problems psychologically, then you need to work on your psychology. And that's okay, very doable. There are many great psychology classes out there that can help you to deal with deeper drawdowns. But more importantly, you want to level up as quickly as possible to reach that 1 million, 2 million, 5 million, where you can then reduce your risk to very low stress levels and live a very comfortable life. If you're starting with 10,000, you're risking 1% per trade. When can you actually start living off of trading? The answer is you can't, until year 10 maybe. And if you really want to quit your day job because you hate it so much, can you really think that long term? Like, okay, I'm going to stay here another 10 years. I don't think it's going to work. You're going to self-sabotage a lot. If you up that a little bit, 3%, hey, after 2 or 3 years, you can quit your job and live a very comfortable life. You can withdraw money and you can pay taxes and you still make more money than probably everyone you know. And it's only this tiny little tweak here. You could also, of course, say I'm starting with 100k at 2%. And then once I'm at 500k, I go down to 1%. Once I'm at 1 million, I go down to 1%. It doesn't matter. I just want you to be flexible in your thinking when it comes to risk, and how aggressive you are going to be, that is totally up to you. I hope this opened your eyes a little bit, because I think this is a huge leverage that we have in trading to simply risk more per trade. Instead of making more hours, the real way to make more money in trading is actually to risk more dollars per trade. And of course, all of that only applies if you have an edge already. If you don't have an edge, risk management is not very interesting to you. Just risk 0.25%, 0.5%, or even less until you can prove to yourself that you are profitable. And then you can say, okay, every 10R, I'm moving up to 1.25, to 1.5, to 1.75, until I'm at the level where I want to be. And then I grind it out here until I reach a really nice trading account size where I can then reduce my risk again. All right, so forget about the 1% rule. Be very flexible and curious and creative when it comes to risk management. As always in trading, curiosity pays off, and rigidity and following one size fits all rules will not make you rich in the long run.